This video is about the Emil 1951. This is a Swedish Tier 8 heavy tank. It's also an autoloader and it's a premium tank. And this is one of the reward tanks for the frontline game mode. You have to get, I guess once you get up to episode 5 or episode 6, or no, maybe it's episode 7. I don't remember what it was. I think you got to get up to level 7 or something like that. So you can see I have 154 tanks. I've only got one per tech tree, plus I have a large number of premium tanks. So I've played a wide variety of tanks. If you look at my tech tree, you'll see I've played almost every tank in the game. I've only got a couple tier 10 tanks here and there. There's only a few tanks that I haven't played. So I've gotten to like 90 to 95% of them. So what do I think of this tank? First of all, I've played probably one game with this tank. I would say that I am happy to have it. I do like playing autoloaders. It is a little bit, it's mobile. It accelerates rather quickly. The top speed is in the low 40s. The speed is decent, so you can hustle around the field. I believe that when I was playing the other Emil, the heavy tank, which was also a tier 8, I believe it was a lot slower. The other issue is we've got an issue with the gun. The penetration on this gun is 217 with a regular round. That's a little bit on the low side, and the premium round is 242. That's also on the low side. If it were 242 for the regular round, that would be above average. 242 for the premium round is probably below average. So let's look at some of these other tanks real quick. This one has 245, so for the premium round it's about the same. This one 259, the premium round is much higher and the regular round is much higher with that tank. This one, oh, look at that, the premium round is 297. That's amazing. So you can see that the Emil doesn't have amazing penetration, and unfortunately you can't really do anything about it. So if you want crazy unicum gameplay, you're going to have to use premium rounds. I did play with Emil on the frontline game mode, and if you try to go against frontal armor, you're pretty much going to have to use the premium rounds, because when those defenders come up there and the mutants and things like that, you're just not going to penetrate with the regular rounds. The amount of damage it does is decent. You can do 1,000 damage in one clip, which takes you 10 seconds. That's pretty good. In terms of the gun handling, it's not that great. You know what? I'm talking about frontline because I only played one game and it was in frontline. In frontline, you're gonna be firing from far away. You're often gonna be at the limit of your range. 400 plus meters, and I wish it aimed faster. It didn't have the TD or the German quick aim. It wasn't slow like a KV2, but it was on the sluggish side. I didn't think it was amazing. I did not buy the gun laying drive or the V-stab because I didn't have the money at the time, and I'm going to wait until there's a discount before I purchase. I do not already have those two items. Okay, so people will say which is better, the vertical stabilizer or the gun laying drive. Be aware that the gun laying drive works on every shot, meaning when you are firing 3 shots and you're stationary, it's going to help you for all 3 shots. But the vertical stabilizer only helps you probably when you're moving in position or when you're moving and firing. So the gun laying drive is actually pretty good if you're going to be sniping with this tank. I recommend a vertical stabilizer, a gun laying drive, and then possibly vents. Optionally, I do like to play with coated optics because I'm a very high risk taker. I like to go out on my own by myself without people spotting for me. Even if I'm playing a heavy tank, I'm going to go spot for myself. So that's why I like to play with coated optics. However, I anticipate, because it's tier 8 and I'm really only playing frontline right now, I'm probably only going to play it in frontline, which means that spotting is not as much of a priority in frontline. You've got a lot of allies spotting for you. Everything else is going to be pretty much the same. I've acquired a lot of directives. You can see there's going to be some, for example, natural cover that are up in the hundreds. And my crew is pretty good. You know, these chicks have 4 skills, and because they're ladies, they're going to get up to the 5th skill pretty quick. Let's see if we can get an example here. It's got 22,000 for this particular one. They're going to get up to the fifth crew skill fairly quickly. And you're probably going to want things like snapshot and smooth ride. Again, those are gun handling related. You really want to prioritize gun handling. So I don't know if this vehicle catches fire. That's one of the issues you do need to know about new vehicles. The engine is clearly in the back. However, some vehicles were able to be set fire from the front because of the way the transmission works. I don't know if that's still a feature in the game, but it definitely was a part of the game many years ago. Now, I'm going to talk about damage blocked by armor. I went through some of my frontline gameplay, and the tank that I had the most damage blocked by armor in frontline was around 7 or 8,000 damage blocked by armor, and it was with an Emil, the tier 8 Emil heavy tank. So don't be surprised if you block a lot of armor with this. The turret armor is 180 on the front. 180 is actually really good for that turret. 100 for the bottom. Is not amazing, but 35 for that lower plate is absolutely horrible. That's really going to be, is that correct? No, that's not the lower plate. Disregard what I said. It's going to be 35 for the side and 30 and 20 for the rear. So you're really vulnerable on the side, but you do have spaced armor, which means you're going to be able to take a little bit more of an aggressive angle. If you know my videos, you'll know that I put the gun right over the inside corner for a mid-turret tank, but because it's got the space armor, you can give a little bit of a more aggressive angle. But I haven't tested it yet, so I don't know what angle to say. I usually use small repair kit, large repair kit, and the medical kit. In frontline, you really don't need the medical kit because you're usually close to repair for your crew. And I don't use the fire extinguisher because you really don't catch on fire that often in any World of Tanks games. It's like 1 out of 50 games. I will tell you that I have tanks that have full firefighting crew. I'm sorry. What I did was I ran directives for firefighters because it's only a value of 2 bonds. That's the cost. You see it says purchase 2 bonds. It's the cheapest directive, and I've got 285, and I ran that, which is supposed to add firefighting at 100% to your full crew, and I still took a lot of damage when I caught on fire. So my understanding is if you have a automatic fire extinguisher, it might give you better protection than the crew skills for firefighting at 100%. I don't know if this thing gets ammo rack. The ammo rack is going to be right over here in this part of the turret. The ammo rack is going to be near where the loader is. Obviously, the commander is over here. The gunner is not got to be near the gun. The loader has to be in a position where he can access the rear of the gun, which might be called the breech. And there might be ammunition right here in the turret in this location because the gunner is probably also the loader. Let's see if he is. He is. Let's check the commander, see if he's got loader also. The commander also does. So that means that there might be ammo over here, and there might also be ammo on the commander side, which means that that's where you're going to get ammo racked. You could probably, because of the low amount of armor, only 35, you could probably easily get ammo racked in this tank. Is there anything else interesting? HE rounds. Let's look at HE. 53 penetration, 460 damage. That's not absolutely mind-blowing amazing. But if you watch my HE round videos, you're going to do about 150 damage against enemy tanks that have rounded turrets or are side scraping and things like that per shot. So you can do maybe 450 per clip if you're firing HE. And I only put in 3 rounds. You know, I'm not going to use them that much. And I'm never going to go through these 72 rounds, I'm sure. Okay, so reload time. I want to look at the reload time. It wasn't that bad. The reload time is, rate of fire is 5. That must mean the reload time is 12 seconds, I believe. No, it says 28 seconds. 28 seconds reload. That's not that great. But you do what you got to do. Okay, so that's what I think about this tank. It's got a tier 9 gun. Everything else is tier 8. This is something else you want to check. Tier 9 radio. And that's it.